You see, now it gets interesting. The Premier League table from 2 weeks ago, the Premier League features from 2 weeks ago has come and gone, and now the table direction is beginning to change. Do we still have a Premier League title race, or is it all over? Or is Arsenal just back in the mix due to the Liverpool draw against Aston Villa? Come, let's have that discussion now. Let's go.
Welcome to Football Madness. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, remember to share this. Now let's go have some fun. Let's go.
Back again to another week of Premier League review and preview show. We're back for another interesting, another fantabulous, another transcending episode. Whew, it's been a tough one. We couldn't bring you guys an episode last week. Guys, I'm sorry. I was sick. I was down. This flu was flu 1, Football Madness 0. Let's keep it at that. But we are back again for another interesting episode. We are back again to discuss the hot topic, to discuss the face of the Premier League going forward. We are going into match week 26 and match week 27. But for Liverpool, that will be match week 27 and match week 28. Sit down, relax, grab your popcorn, grab your food, grab your drink. We are about to have a blast. So much topic, so much key features, so much direction that the Premier League table could turn after this next 2 weeks games, which is the weekend game and the midweek games. Stay tuned, grab your popcorn, grab your drink. This is going to be a long one. Let's have some fun. Let's go. So for the first game we have on our list this weekend, we have the game between Everton and Manchester United. This game is a really tricky one for Manchester United because Manchester United have been dropping points. The last time we saw Manchester United, they lost 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. That is a game that they could have won. They created chances, they had their opportunities, but they just couldn't finish it. So now diving into the next 2 games, Manchester United need to start proceeding with caution. They are now at a particular point that they could no longer make any mistakes. No mistake will be accepted, no mistake will be tolerated. Going forward against Everton, they need to go back to their fundamentals. Keep it simple. Do the basic right. Defend. See, whenever things is going wrong in a team, the first thing every coach needs to do is go back to defending. Go back to playing fundamental football. Keeping it simple, basic. And for Manchester United, that is their biggest problem right now. Amorim is still trying to adapt to his play style. But at the other hand, that team is being decimated by injuries. The amount of injuries on that team is too much. Go back to the fundamental. Go back to the basic. Keeping it minimal. Keeping it simple and basic. You want to play 4-3-3 or whatever formation you want, whichever way you want to call it, 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. But we get the concept that Amorim wants to do. But the point remains, you have to go back to your fundamental. You have to keep it simple. Go back to defending. Go back to making the right choices, making the right passes, playing the ball simple, and bearing your chances. When you create chances, you have to take them. And that is Manchester United's biggest problem right now. On one hand, they are battling injury. On the second hand, the team have not get the concept of the Amorim football, Amorim style, and what Amorim wants. They haven't gelled yet. So Amorim, going forward against Everton, you need to go back to your fundamental. You need to keep things simple. Get back to playing simple football, basic football, passing the ball, defending. The paramount thing you must do is defend. If anything else, defend. Keep a clean sheet. You can play a 0-0 draw. That is fine. That will be an improvement. A draw will be an improvement. You cannot keep losing game here and there. This is Manchester United we are talking about. And for the second game for Manchester United, the game between Manchester United and Ipswich, that will be played on Wednesday next week. These 2 games, Manchester United must come out of this game with 4 points. These 2 games, Manchester United must come out of these 2 games with 4 points. Nothing less than 4 points. Maximum 6 points. Minimum 4 points. Anything less than 4 points is a disaster. They should draw against Everton and they should beat Ipswich. That is the bare minimum you can do. Man, Manchester United fans are currently going through it. This is unacceptable. This is unbelievable. They don't even know where their next win is going to come from. Manchester United is currently seated at 15th place. 15th place with 29 points. In their last 5 games, they've lost 3 and they won 2. This is Manchester United we are talking about. They lost their last 2 Premier League games. Oh, at this point, I don't even know, man. Even prayer cannot save Manchester United at this point. They just need to get back to defending and playing fundamental football, keeping it simple, playing the basic football. Against Everton, they need to keep clean sheet, and against Ipswich, they need to get back to keeping clean sheet. And if you can get 4 points out of those games, that is the bare minimum. The key to victory for Manchester United in these 2 games, it is defending. Manchester United, you have one job going forward. Defend. Manchester, defend. Manchester, defend. That is all. Do not do anything else. Just defend. Keep clean sheet. That's it. Once you've gotten the grips of that, then you can now go forward to attacking. Then you can go forward to playing with flair, playing with style, playing with sauce. That's it. Going back to the fundamental, going back to the basic, that's your assignment for the next 2 weeks. Amorim, do not go outside of this advice I have given you. You too can be fired. The same way they fired Ten Hag. Yes, it might have cost Manchester United 14.5 million to fire Ten Hag. It will probably cost them more to fire you, but they will fire you too. You need to get back to the fundamental. That's my advice for you. Go forward and make this difference that I have given to you. Go forward and adapt. Go forward and play basic football, fundamental football. Get back to the fundamental, the basics. And you will be a happier man. For the next game we have on our list, we'll have the game between Arsenal versus West Ham. And also for the midweek game, we have Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. So Arsenal next 2 games is Arsenal versus West Ham and Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. These next 2 games is going to shape Arsenal season going forward. If Arsenal should come out of these next 2 games with maximum point, 6 points, now we have a race on our hand. There is a Premier League race. But if Arsenal should drop points in these next 2 games, it's over, y'all. Because we are just going to be going tech for tech, win for win, lose for lose, draw for draw. That's all we are going to be doing. Someone has to break out of the chain and do something different between Arsenal and Liverpool. If Arsenal can come out of these next 2 games with maximum point, means that Liverpool draw 2 and they won 2. So they are on the trajectory to go pick up maximum points. So they can definitely close the gap. But if Arsenal should be dropping points in the next 2 games, it's over. And we can just call it a day and everyone go back home. So right now, the pressure is on Arsenal. The opportunity lies in Arsenal's court. Arsenal have to grab it with their 2 hands or not. But we are going to find out come these next 2 games. Is there really a Premier League race? Or are we just pretending? Or we'll find out what the real deal is. Pretenders or contenders? We will find out come next week when we meet up here for our next week's show. The game between Arsenal and West Ham, the key to victory for Arsenal, I definitely believe that the key to victory for Arsenal lies in their midfield. Right now, Arsenal are struggling in the attack line. They have too many injuries in their forward line. So the midfielders need to step up in creating opportunities for the few attacking players that are left. We saw Moreno coming in from the bench against Leicester to give them the last 2 goals to win that game 2-0. Going forward against West Ham, I believe West Ham is going to be a better side than Leicester. So Arsenal is going to need to dig deep than they did against Leicester. They will need to play harder. They will need to finish their chances. And they will need to be a better team than the way they played against Leicester. The game against West Ham and the game against Nottingham Forest is not going to be as easy as it was against Leicester. Leicester is not a good side. But West Ham and Nottingham Forest is going to test Arsenal. So Arsenal have to overcome this challenge. They need to overcome this test that is about to be that they look forward to in their next 2 games. They need to overcome these next 2 games. They need to. So, like I said, the key to victory against West Ham lies in their midfield. The midfielders need to step up. The midfielders need to create. And then also the midfielders need to start picking up goals. You cannot rely on the attacking line alone. The attacking line cannot give you victory all the time. You need to step up. You need to score goals. You need to create plays, assist here and there. That is how you win these games. Arsenal defense have been solid in the last few games. Kudos to them. Their defense have been playing compact. Their defense have been playing sound. They've been playing good defense in the last few games, and they are going to need those defense going forward between this Premier League and Champions League run that is about to kick in. They are going to definitely need their defense. For Nottingham Forest, the key to victory against Nottingham Forest would definitely be the attacking line. They must find a way to score goals against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is a good side. They're currently seated in 3rd place at the top of the table, right above Manchester City. They've been the surprise of the season, though they've lost 2 of their last 3. Yeah, they lost 2 games in their last 3 games. So the last time we saw them, they lost to Fulham 2-1. That was an interesting game to watch. I enjoyed watching that game. That was entertaining. We saw Bassi with the winning goal. Kudos to my Nigerian brother. That was an interesting game to watch. But going forward against Arsenal, Nottingham Forest need to get themselves together. Otherwise, they are going to slip and slide away from the top 4. It is the gap behind them and the teams that are coming up. It's now 3-point gap, 3 to 4 point gap. The teams that are coming up behind them are coming up fast. So they need to get themselves together. They need to start picking up points and they need to start winning games. Nottingham Forest against Arsenal will be the game to watch. For the neutral fans, grab your popcorn, grab your drink. You guys are going to enjoy watching that game. The key to victory for Arsenal in that game is going to be their offensive line, their attacking line. Waneri, Moreno, Sterling, and then Trossard. They need to step up. They need to score goals. Score goals from open play is very, very paramount. It's very, very important to score goals from open play. When you are scoring goals from open play, the team is going to have more confidence. They are going to start developing the ability to go and get more goals. But when you are relying on set piece, that is not a good thing, because once that set piece is shot out, you have no way of scoring goals. You have to score from open plays. It's important for that. It's important for Arsenal to take note. You have to be ready. These next 2 games is going to write Arsenal season. Is Arsenal going to be a contender, or is the league over? We are going to find out next week, and I'll catch you guys. For the next game we have on our list, the next 2 games we have on our list, we have the game between Aston Villa and Chelsea versus Southampton. The game between Aston Villa and Chelsea will be played on Saturday, while the game between Chelsea versus Southampton will be played on Tuesday. So those are Chelsea's next 2 games. The thing with Chelsea is that Chelsea in their next 2 games need to pull their pens together. They cannot afford to drop any more points. If Chelsea really mean business this season, if Chelsea goal is to make top 4 this season, it lies in these next 2 games. Chelsea cannot afford to slip up during this period. It's not just Chelsea, it's everyone around here chasing top 4. But for Chelsea specifically, Chelsea cannot afford to drop any more points. The last time we saw Chelsea, what a shame. Chelsea lost 3-0 to Brighton. That's as worst I felt. That's the worst football I've seen from Chelsea this season. And you cannot be playing your worst football towards the end of the season. This is not going to be acceptable. You have to be playing your best football at this period. Any team that is not playing their best football at this particular period towards the ending of the season, I'm sorry for you, because you don't know where you are going to find yourself. You are just going to be moonwalking your way down the ladder. You are going to be moonwalking your way down the ladder till the season is over. This is the time that you have to be playing your best football. There will be nowhere to hide. Enzo Maresca. I thought you were the guy. I've given you unlimited advice. I've tried to help you save your job. But if you should continue on this path, Chelsea are going to fire you. We know Chelsea. Chelsea don't play this. They are going to fire you, and they are going to bring in a new manager. Pochettino was only there for a season. You need to go ahead and learn from that. If you should continue from this point going forward, dropping points, playing bad football, you are going to be gone at the end of the season. So going forward against Aston Villa, the key to victory for that game against Aston Villa is Chelsea need to capitalize on Aston Villa's mistake. Aston Villa right now is struggling in their defense. They have a lot of injury in their defensive line. Chelsea need to capitalize on that. Nkuku, this is not the Conference League. This is the Premier League. You need to get that grips in your head and understand that this is not the Conference League. In the Conference League, you can score your 38 goals, your 20 goals, do as you like, score as much goals as you want. In the Premier League, you have to take your chances. The Premier League is unforgiving, yo. The Premier League is not anybody's mate. You need to get that into your head that the Premier League is not the Conference League. Right now, Jackson is currently out. Jackson is injured. And Coco, this is your time to step up. This is your time to step up. I still don't understand why Chelsea let João Felix goes to AC Milan for loan. What are you thinking? This is the time where you need all your players and you are loaning out players. Even if the player says he wants to leave, you tell him go and sit yourself down. You are not going anywhere. We need every player right now firing, playing, trying to help the club. This is not time to be doing giveaway. Enzo Maresca. Remember, when it's all said and done, I tried to save your job. I gave you unlimited advice. So many occasions, I gave you good, sound advice. Try to save your job, but you did not listen. You and Manchester United, you need to get back to basic. Get back to playing basic, fundamental football. Your defense right now is not there. Offense is not there. Midfield is not there. You have nothing going for yourself right now. And that is the saddest part. A team with all these young, talented players have nothing going for them right now. In the crunch time of the season. No, Enzo Maresca, this is not acceptable. You have to do better. You need to get this. Like, what do you do in training? Actually, I need to visit your training because I need to know what are you doing in the training ground, Enzo Maresca. This is not going to be acceptable. This is not going to be tolerated. You need to do better. The key to victory against Aston Villa, you need to score goals. You need to capitalize on their mistakes. Their defensive line is going to try to play out of the back. I mean, unless they change the way they played against Liverpool. Against Liverpool, they try to play out of the back. They made a couple of mistakes. You need to capitalize on that. Against Southampton is probably going to be the easier features in those two games. So against Southampton, you need to pick up maximum 3 points. So coming out of these two games, you need maximum 4 points. No, maximum 6 points, minimum 4 points. You cannot afford to drop any more points. Giveaway is done. You need to pick up 4 points at minimum. Maximum 6 points from these next two games. If you did not do that, if we should come out of this game discussing you only got 3 points, you only got 2 points, you only got 1 point, oh no. I will be calling for you two to be fired. I will be doing it on behalf of Chelsea. I will do it on behalf of Chelsea because this is not acceptable. It's time to put up your big boy pants. It's time to get in the fight. It's time to start playing football that is sound, that is responsible, and that is winning football. Chelsea need 3 points. Chelsea wants to win. Chelsea say they want top 4. If you should let this top 4 go, Enzo Maresca, you will be on the street of London with no job. Get back to the fundamental, get back to the basic. The key to victory against Southampton is definitely going to be your midfielders. Your midfielders can no longer rely on the forward scoring goals. You need to start scoring goals from midfield. Ever since Enzo goals dried out, Palmer, I don't even know what is going on with Palmer too. Palmer has been taking wide shots. I've been shooting the ball off target. Palmer need to get back to being the cold Palmer that we saw at the beginning of the season. Scoring goals, creating plays for his teammates, carrying his team along, being the glue that glue everyone together. Get back to your fundamental and I'll see you guys next week. For the next game we have on our list, this is the big game that is coming up this weekend. Manchester City versus Liverpool. Woo. For Manchester City, we saw Manchester City this midweek. They lost to Real Madrid, 3-1. Now they are coming back to their Premier League game. We saw Liverpool this midweek against Aston Villa, 2-2 draw. Both teams need maximum 3 points from this game. So it's going to be an entertaining one. Liverpool cannot afford to lose this game. Liverpool cannot afford to lose this game. If Liverpool lose this game, Arsenal is in. And it becomes a race to the end of the season. If Liverpool should lose this game against Manchester City, Arsenal is in. And it becomes a race to the end of the season. So Liverpool, the ball lies in your court come Sunday. You have to win this game. You need to do whatever it is you need to do to win this game. Manchester City are currently not playing at their best form. They are not playing their best football. You need to capitalize on that. Maximum 3 points coming out of this game. If you don't win this game, the conversation next week will be a totally different conversation. Yes. So what is the key to victory for Manchester City against Liverpool? Manchester City against Liverpool, the key to victory is going to be their offensive line. Liverpool defense have been making a lot of mistakes these last few weeks. They've been giving up easy goals. So Manchester City will be looking to capitalize on that. So the likes of Haaland, the likes of Mamouche, Savion, and Doku, Grealish, they need to look to capitalize on those mistakes. Liverpool is going to make 1 or 2 mistakes. At this point, it's becoming a regular thing in the defense. Liverpool is giving up the average of 1-point-something goals in the last 3 games. It's unacceptable. It's unbelievable. That defense need to buckle up and get going again. Get back to the beginning of the season when you were playing sound and shut out defense. The key to victory for Liverpool is going to be their defense. Liverpool defense need to get back to playing fundamental, keeping clean sheet. Trent, at this point, Trent, you do not want to defend. I don't understand what is going on. Ever since Real Madrid turned Trent head is gone. And the problem with that now, Bradley picked up an injury against Aston Villa. So we're probably not going to see Bradley. We're probably going to be seeing Trent against Manchester City. I just pray for Trent, because if Trent doesn't want to defend against Mamouche, it's going to be a field day for Mamouche. This game is going to be an interesting one to watch. It's going to have a lot to say about Liverpool Premier League season. Is Liverpool going to run away with the title, or are they going to slip and slide their way back into a race? We are going to find out this season. We are going to find out this weekend. It's coming up. This is going to be an interesting one. For the neutral fans, grab your popcorn, grab your drink. This is going to be the game to watch. You are definitely going to be entertained. The next game we have on our list is Tottenham versus Manchester City. This is the game Manchester City will be playing on Wednesday for their midweek feature. So they have Liverpool on Sunday, and then they will play Tottenham on Wednesday. Manchester City have 2 hard games coming up. This is why teams like Liverpool need to capitalize on that. They just finished playing Madrid. They are tired. They picked up a couple of knocks from that game. Their heads is down. They just went out of the Champions League. Capitalize on that before Manchester City pick form. Going forward against Tottenham, the key to victory against Tottenham will be their offense. The offensive line against Tottenham need to capitalize on the high line that Tottenham have been playing. They need to capitalize on the mistakes that Tottenham defense is going to make. Tottenham defense is they are not at their best right now. That's another defense that is plagued with injury. Tottenham defense is currently plagued with injury, so that is an opportunity for Manchester City to capitalize, pick up 3 points there, and keep it moving. But that matchup is going to be an entertaining one, because the last time Tottenham played Manchester City, Tottenham was victorious. Tottenham was the winner of that game. So I believe that Manchester City is going to want their revenge from that game. So that is going to make that game entertaining. Grab your popcorn, grab your drink. If you're a neutral fan, you are going to enjoy watching that game. For the key to victory for Tottenham, the key to victory for Tottenham lies in that their midfield and also their defense. Tottenham is a team that is plagued with injury. I already established that, and we already seen that this season. So they need to go back to playing simple, keeping their defense drop back, like stop playing that high line. I don't know why Angie keep playing this high line. Drop that defensive line back. Sit your men in front of the goal, play sound defense, and try to keep the game close. You can nick it at the end of the game and try to win this game. This game is there to be won. There's opportunity for Tottenham to beat Manchester City only if Angie play the right game, the right system, the right formation. Oh, this weekend is going to be crazy. I am telling you. I am going to be glued in front of my TV this weekend, watching all these games, getting all the points, trying to see who is going to play good, who is going to play bad. I will be there. This weekend is going to be crazy. I cannot wait. It's going to be an entertaining weekend. For the last game we'll have on our features this weekend is Liverpool versus Newcastle. This is Liverpool game from the midweek against Newcastle. That's on Wednesday. Liverpool versus Newcastle. The last game we saw Liverpool versus Newcastle was a 3-3 draw. That was the one Newcastle equalized at the last minute of the game. It is time for Liverpool to right their mistakes. Liverpool have been giving up all these silly goals at the ending of games that is costing them points. Against Everton, against Newcastle, against Manchester United. You are giving up goals at the end of the games that are killing, and are just costing points. Against Fulham. Oh. This Premier League season would have been done and dusted if it is not for the silly points that Liverpool keep giving up at the ending of games. This game against Manchester City and the game against Newcastle, Liverpool must come out of these games with maximum 4 points. The game again between Manchester City and Newcastle, these next 2 games for Liverpool must come out with maximum 6 points, minimum 4 points. You cannot afford to drop points. Not 3, not 2, not 1. You have to, bare minimum is 4 points. Maximum 6 points. You come out of these games with 6 points, it's smooth sailing from there. It will be 10 games to the end of the season, and then you can just go on from there and win the league. But this 2 games is paramount. These 2 games is going to have a lot to say in Liverpool season. This is the Liverpool season is coming down to these next 2 games. I'm telling you. Whatever Liverpool do in these next 2 games is going to write the rest of the story for the rest of the season. Everything is in Liverpool hands. You can take your own destiny in your hand. You can leave it for Arsenal to take it for you, but you will find out in these next 2 games. The key to victory against Newcastle will definitely be Liverpool defense. You cannot give up goals the way you did in the first leg. First leg was 3-3. That's too many goals to be conceding. You cannot concede 3 goals and think you are going to pick up 3 points. It's not done anywhere. If you want to pick up 3 points in football, you cannot be conceding 3 goals. Even 2 goals is too many. The maximum goal you can concede is 1. If you plan on picking up 3 points, 2 is too many. 3, that one is just not acceptable. Going forward against Newcastle and going forward against Manchester City, Liverpool defense need to win these 2 games for them. It is in their defensive side. Keeping clean sheets, shutting out the opponent, keeping clean sheets, shutting out the opponent is the only thing Liverpool need to be focused on. Scoring goals, Liverpool tend to score 2 goals at an average this season. They are scoring 2 goals at an average. So it comes down to keeping clean sheets or only conceding 1. Oh, man. Liverpool is definitely, they need to dig deep in these next 2 games, because if not, like I said, the conversation next week will be a totally different conversation. Right now, the ball lies in Liverpool hand. And a slot, you need to just go ahead and just let Nunes sit on the bench. Please do not introduce him in these next 2 games. I do not want to see Nunes on the field in these next 2 games. Leave him on the bench, or better yet, send him to the under 18 to go play with them. Keep him as far away from this team. This man is an ops to this team. He is the enemy within. Yes. I'm sure if they take off his jersey, they'll see an Arsenal jersey in there. That guy is an Arsenal supporter. Yes. Nunes is an Arsenal supporter. He is the enemy within. They need to get rid of him as quick as possible. This man is not contributing anything to Liverpool this season. So what are we watching him for? This man get paid to miss empty nets. Simple tap in, he cannot do. Of what use are you to this team? You are just costing this team points upon points. It's high time we do the needful. It's high time we do what's necessary and just ship him off. Bring in a striker that can at least score tap in. Bare minimum can score tap in. We have come to the end of this week review and preview show. Thank you for sticking with us for another episode. I'm sorry for last week, but the flu won last week, but we are back. Not 100% yet, but we are back. We are pushing. We need to get back on the train and keep it moving. Thank you, guys. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, remember to share this with your friend. Share this with your friend that want a friend that need a friend. I will catch you guys next time. Let's go.